think I will enjoy the view. I love you, I love you.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, BJ Mambo. Tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about Alice Cooper's debut album, Pretties For You. The album was released June 25th, 1969 by Straight Records and produced by Frank Zappa. Let's talk about the cover real quick. The cover, it's a cool cover. It's interesting. It's weird. I mean, it kind of goes along with their whole shtick of weirdness and randomness. It's decent. It's not the best cover, but it's decent. Let's dive into track 1 of side A. Track 1, Titanic Overture, 1 minute and 12 seconds. I mean, I don't know what to say about this opening track. I just don't really get it. It's a musical number, no vocals. Is it them playing, or is it I don't. And then it has kind of an awkward fade out with the piano at the end. I mean, maybe if the piano riff that comes in led to the next track, maybe it could have worked or fit better, but I just don't understand this track. I mean, it probably should have been cut. Track 2, 10 minutes before the worm, 1 minute and 39 seconds. So I really do like the chewing sound effect at the beginning. I think it's kind of weird, creepy. But that's like maybe one of the only things I like about this track. This is a weird way to open the album. I mean, if you don't count track 1, and let's say this was the opening, I get it. It kind of sort of sums up their whole gimmick of, I don't know if it's called like the anti-band, but there's not really a tempo to the song. It's kind of all over the place. It's weird. You got sound effects. Again, maybe should have been cut along with the first track. This is a 13-track album. I think they probably could have lost a couple. I like the chewing sound effect. Maybe start the album with that chewing. So yeah, again, maybe this should have been cut as well. Let's move on. Track 3, Swing Low, Sweet Cheerio, 5 minutes and 42 seconds. So I love the guitar opening riff to this with the smacks of the acoustic guitar. Awesome, awesome opening. This should have opened the album. I think if this song, and even that specifically, that riff would have opened this album, would have been a much stronger start to the Alice Cooper Band. Really long musical break jam session. And the song's 5 minutes and 42 seconds. The jam session at the end I think goes on for about 3 minutes and 15 seconds. So like 65% of the song is just a musical breakdown, which is cool. I don't mind that. You got Alice Cooper coming in on harmonica, sounding great. Great guitar riffs. This is a solid song. I like, strong closing with the hit slowing down, which I think is a neat way to end. Yeah, solid song. Yeah, should have opened the album. Track 4. Today, Mueller, 1 minute and 48 seconds. This one totally has a Beatles sound. You're going to pick up that most of this album does have a very Beatles sound to it. I know a lot of people, when they talk about this album, they say, oh, Alice Cooper sounds like John Lennon. This sounds like a psychedelic Beatles album. I like the harmonizing in this song is great. And that's what really gives it that Beatles sound, with these multiple vocal tracks and harmonizings. I like the Red Rover. I like that part. This song's decent. It's a quick one. It's under 2 minutes. So, if this was a 4-minute song, it probably wouldn't work. Not as weird as 10 minutes before the worm, but still got that weird element. It's not as strong and traditional as track 3, but again, this is their sound. This is their thing they're experimenting with, and I'm down with it. Let's move on. Track 5, Living, 3 minutes and 12 seconds. Back to that Beatles thing. This could have been a Beatles song. You throw this on a playlist, this will fool a Beatles fan. But this is a good one. This is catchy. Again, harmonizing is spot on. I like near the middle how it slows down and then picks back up. You have those great ahs at the end. Not as weird as some of the other ones. A little more traditional. It seems like the traditional ones I'm leaning more towards, and maybe fans out there do as well. Probably my favorite song so far on this album is this track. Good song. Next. Track 6, Fields of Regret, 5 minutes and 44 seconds. So this closes side A of the album, and this is a chill song. I love the little break in the middle when it slows down and Alice starts kind of talk singing. Then the song starts picking up again, then it gets a little bit chaotic and berserk and goes a little bit crazy, but still doesn't get off tempo. So it still feels like a pretty solid song, as crazy as it starts getting. Then it turns around and jumps right back into the vocals and ends the song with that. I liked it, man. This is a cool song. I like that it jumps all over the place, like I said, but still keeps a solid tempo that you could bop your head to. You know, one thing about this album is the riffs and the music you got some really cool stuff in there. Yeah, I dig this one. Let's flip over to side B, shall we? Track 7, No Longer Umpire, 2 minutes and 2 seconds. I'm not sure if it's a sound effect or what it is, but I do really like that build up they have at the beginning. The song kicks in. It's one of the tracks where I couldn't really tell if I liked it or not, if that makes sense. Like, I wasn't against it. Is it a strong opening to side B? I mean, again, it does sum up the sound they're going for with like the weirdness and the randomness. And it's a quick song, you know, coming in at that 2-minute runtime, you know you'll be in and out with this song. The vocal and drum build-ups, those were good, but maybe kind of a forgettable song. Even talking about it, I feel like I can't pinpoint how it goes, but yeah, I don't know. Let's move on. Track 8, Levity Ball, 4 minutes and 39 seconds. I love the opening to this song with all that echo fade. I don't know how they were doing it, but it sounds awesome. See, this should have opened side B. This would have been a perfect riff to open up this side. And I dig this song. This is a weird song. I think this is a live version of this song. Why? I don't know. You know, the vocals are very grainy, which is maybe a little bit off-putting, but then also maybe part of the charm. It's got that creepy musical break, got those siren-sounding vocals going on, which is interesting. And then you think the song ends, but then it comes back in, and then the vocals come back in, but it's slower tempo. Yeah, this is a cool song. Track 9, BB on Mars, 1 minute and 17 seconds. I think this has a really fun musical opening. You know, you got that chaos. You know, it's a super quick one. So again, that's always a plus. Like I said, some of these weird ones were 4-minute songs, you know, I feel like the cringe factor would really be in the extremes. If I would skip it, I probably would. So, track 10, Reflected, 3 minutes and 17 seconds. I love that marching band drum opening riff they do. As you Alice Cooper fans, I'm sure already know, Reflected is an early version of the song Elected, which they did 4 years later on $1 Billion Babies. And I'll be honest, I kind of like this version better. Nothing's too over the top. It's catchy. It's got a great melody. This was a single on this album, which I totally get. Yeah, if I would pick a song in this album to put on a playlist, I would say that would be the one. You know, yeah, Elected on $1 Billion Babies is a much more bigger, powerful song, I guess, but I kind of like the chillness to this one. Track 11, Apple Bush, 3 minutes and 8 seconds. A great guitar opening to this song. You know, Alice comes back with harmonica. He's got some great riffs. I think the verses are a little bit more catchy than the chorus melody. I think maybe if this song was placed differently on the album, maybe if it opened side B, or maybe it would have flowed and worked a little bit better. Good riffs. Almost every song on this album has good riffs. So if anything, if you're a music fan, you could at least listen to this album for the riffs. Track 12, Earwigs to Eternity, 1 minute and 19 seconds. This is, again, another... It's like this album split. You know, you kind of got like traditional songs, and then you got these kind of weirdo, bizarre songs. Tempo changes again. You know, they kind of do the... singing along with the high guitar riffs, which that was kind of cool, but kind of silly, you know, kind of out there. But this whole album is. So I hate that I keep saying things are weird or silly or out there, because that's just what this album is and what this band really was, especially when they started. Track 13, Changing, Arranging, 3 minutes and 3 seconds. So this is the closer of the album. I like the heavy opening, more traditional sounding song. Now, is it a strong closer? I don't know. Maybe not. You would think this album would have ended on a weirder note, or even more of an epic note. I mean, even when this song ends, I felt like it could have been a lot bigger, could have been a lot stronger, more powerful. So, I don't know. I mean, maybe not closer material for this, but not a bad song. Well, we made it to the end of the album. Final summary about it all. I mean, it's a decent album. I mean, I think there's enough in there that I do like, that it's not complete trash. Is it his weakest album? I don't know. You know, this is a weird one because some rankings put it at the bottom of the barrel and some put it in their top 10. And I don't really know where I'm going to put this one. I think out of 13 tracks, I think at least 4 of them or more I dug. Maybe if some of the tracks were cut, you know, maybe bring it down to 10 tracks. Now, I get why Alice Cooper fans are weirded out with this album because it's so different and sounds more like a psychedelic Beatles album. But that's kind of, like I said, that's kind of what I like about it. But, yeah, you know, not my favorite, but not my least favorite. And that's it, guys. End of the video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Feel free to comment. I would love to hear other people's opinions about this album. So keep an eye out for the next Alice Cooper review. That will be 1970s Easy Action, which is going to be fun to talk about because it's another weird one, another kind of hated one. And yeah, so I guess I'll just see you guys later. Thanks for watching.